So we mentioned your time with the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Was that trade a blindside for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I had gotten wind of it because I knew one of my best friends is very close with people in the Pistons organization. And, I tried to figure out if it was true or not. My agent was calling, all that. And by the time, when I found out to the time the trade went through, it was like, 2 hours, and I was trying to get information and couldn't really get information. And I saw the tweet and I was just like, put the phone down. I was playing a game on the trampoline with my kids, and I saw the notification and I just tossed the phone on the outside of it. Oh no, yeah. That's so funny. The phone was just bouncing on the trampoline. I tossed it into the grass and I just kept playing the game, and I'll never forget. I mean, I hope my kids were so young, they had no clue what was going on, but I just remember kind of just being like, wow, like that's crazy, like that was like the last thing. When I woke up that morning, that was the last thing I would have guessed had happened. But it's fine, and I appreciated my time in Detroit, and I think it all worked out.
Clipper for life.
Yeah, baby. Gonna retire Clipper.
What was your reaction to that? The shirt, the Martin Luther King, and
what's crazy, dude? It didn't even register. So what had happened? We had the whole free agency meeting. They had done this like a walkthrough. It was like a timeline. They had like blown up picture of my childhood home, and like they did it out in the concourse of Staples. And then we walk into Staples and sit in the seats, and they're like, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the jersey retirement of Blake Griffin." I'm sure this has all been documented. I don't know. I don't read stuff, but so they do this whole thing. The jersey goes up in the rafters, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, this is a lot, because we told them the whole time. It's like we just let's talk basketball. Like, let's talk. I don't need the fanfare, but you do appreciate that they went to that effort, right? So after the whole meeting, we sat there and talked for a long time, and I come down and all the Clippers employees are down in the concourse, and I see they all have matching shirts on, but I didn't even really I didn't pay attention to what exactly it was, And driving home, of course the t-shirt was already on Twitter. And I was like, oh my God, they have Nelson Mandela on there. Him, Obama? I was like, oh, I can't believe it didn't even register to me, one, and I can't believe they did that too. And now it lives on in infamy. Jared Stacy, at Amazon, he was speaking to us at a seminar, and at the end of his speech, he goes, and I do want to single out one person, because it takes a lot, that he believed in us. And I'm like, where's he going with this? And I see him pull this black t-shirt from underneath the podium, and he somehow got his hands on this t-shirt and passed them around to the whole Amazon crew. And then I do Candace Parker's podcast, and I click on the Zoom, and she's wearing it. I was just like, God, don't let this thing come back. Don't let this thing come back around. But it's already out there. It's funny.
It's an amazing shirt. Yeah. I mean, Albert Einstein was on that.
Yeah, Einstein, of course, dude. I mean, come on. Don't act surprised. I mean, it's me you're talking about here, baby. Come on.
So good.
Einstein, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, it shows how cold business can be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I was, I had a conversation recently with somebody.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I had a phone call with somebody recently, and he's like, man, we were talking. I mentioned I might have you on the podcast, and he's like, oh man, I remember years ago when he was almost traded to Denver. And this is February 2016. Chris Broussard had reported that Blake Griffin and Lance Stevenson were offered for Danilo Gallinari, Kenneth Faried, Will Barton, and Nikola Jokic. Did you hear anything about that at the time? Did the Clippers say anything to you at the time about that rumor?
I don't even remember, to be honest. I really don't. I think I was assured that wasn't true, but I can't remember the details of it. I kind of stayed out of a lot of that.
You just ignore it because there's so much noise.
Yeah.
Was it the same thing in July 2016 when there was rumors about the Celtics wanting to trade for you, and Doc Rivers went on Woj's podcast and they opened the show? Doc said, I have to say something before we get started, Woj. we're not trading Blake Griffin. All these bloggers and radio guys in Boston, we're not talking trade with Blake.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that one?
The trade, yeah. I honestly, the trade rumors kind of like come and go. I truly don't didn't ever put much thought into any of them.
I mean, I think you kind of have to compartmentalize as
Yeah.
a player, otherwise it'll drive you nuts, right?
Probably should have had my ear to the ground a little more on the Detroit one, but here we are.
Hey, I mean, things happen the way they happen. I mean,
Exactly.
regardless,
They're out of your control, so
Yeah.
it's just like, what are you going to do?
100%, exactly. Unless you have a no trade clause, it's
Right.
it's out of your control. I mean, ultimately though, like those were good years with the Clippers, and I thought it was cool. CP3 posted the FaceTime of you three talking to each other after. I mean, unfortunate situation for him with the Clippers.
Yeah, I kind of said I'm not like at a loss for words. I talked about it at length, like on our show, but like I felt like just a dad that was like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like you really let me down on this one. It's just. I understand, like, hey, like if you sign Chris Paul and you're like, this is not working out, but like you knew who he was going in, and on top of that, hey, you know what? You say like this just truly isn't working out, and we have to make this decision. Like, I think like Ty Lue, Ballmer, I think they all, it's you owe them a conversation, like because this was apparently like a deal that like was like, hey, I'm coming back here. This is going to be my last year. Like I want to retire a Clipper, So like, what went wrong? Like what happened there?
And where do you think he goes?
I don't know. I usually don't like it even as a player. Like when we had guys that were free agents, I tried to stay out of it. I just always gave them that thing of like, hey, support. We obviously want you back, but I support you no matter what. I know you have to make the decision that's right for you and your family and all that. And it sounds cliche, but truly is true because that's what I would want to hear if I was in that situation. So I haven't asked CP. I saw him yesterday at the game. I know he's working out, and I think the want to play is still there. I think he just needs to process, all this and sort of figure out what's most important.
He played all 82 last year.
Yeah.
And he played very well with the Spurs.
Yeah.
And so I think this early season, maybe his abilities did fall off a cliff, at his age, but maybe it's just with these spotty minutes, slow start.
Yeah.
I still think there's something there with him, which is a shame. I just hope it doesn't end this way with him. I hope he gets an opportunity on a championship contending team, and it'd be an awesome story if he gets that chance.
And his mind is the best, one of the best parts about his game. I mean, like, I would think a team, like, you should lean on that, and you give him the ability to have input and see what he sees or hear what he sees. I think it's beneficial. So it was just strange to me that wasn't that's not how he was received at the Clippers,